is still organizing this conference. Yes, we at one time tried to have a boycott of these products. Apparently, Malaysians are not very supportive. I myself have spoken in public on the boycott of just one item, Coca-Cola, but there was absolutely no response. People love to drink Coca-Cola, and I suppose they love McDonald's also. At the same time, of course, there are local people who are involved. If we take this action, some people might lose their jobs and some investors might lose quite a lot of money. So because Malaysians are not very supportive, the government has not taken action during my time, and I think during the present time also. As far as what we are doing now, we are doing because this is about obeying the laws, international laws by countries. Without that, we cannot have peace. I pointed out in my remarks just now that this is not about Malaysia against Israel. This is about the peoples of the world against the behavior of Israel, arresting ships in international waters, basically committing piracy. So the reply to that, on the basis of an eye for an eye, would be for us to become pirates also and arrest Israeli ships, and then we can have an exchange. But I don't think we are capable of doing that. This remark that the Israelis are guarding the border between Jordan and Palestine, not Israel. It's Jordan, the border between Palestine and Jordan. So I was entering Palestine, not Israel at all. I was trying to enter Palestine from Jordan, but on the Palestinian side, the Israelis have got their own checkpoint. It is wrong, of course, it is illegal, but that is the way the Israelis behave. They don't care about whether things are legal or not legal. They do just as they like. And I think they would do a lot of harm to the Palestinian if the Palestinians try to resist. That is why the Israelis can build roads in Palestine which are barred for usage by the Palestinian people itself. This is the kind of behavior you can expect from the Israelis. It's not about agreement between Jordan and Israel. This is from Del Osmo, Mr. Adel Osmo, Global Peace Mission. There is a Palestinian Authority controlling Palestinian sector. The Palestinian passports issued under the late Yasser Arafat are labeled as National Authority of Palestine. Outside of Palestine, particularly in Malaysia, there is an embassy of the State of Palestine. Why such differences can exist? Well, I wouldn't be able to say, excepting that whether the world recognizes there is a Palestinian state or not, Malaysia assumes there is a Palestinian state, and therefore Malaysia has allowed this Palestinian state to set up an embassy in Malaysia. But of course, there is no Palestinian state that is recognized by the rest of the world or represented in the United Nations. Nevertheless, whether there is a Palestinian state or not, whether Palestine is just a Palestinian authority. For Malaysia, we still regard there is a Palestinian state, and we accept an embassy set up by the Palestinian state. This is a question from MD Shakib Alam from IIUM. His question is about why is it that Israel has all rights to do what it wants? Why? What's the reason behind it? The reason is really very simple. The reason is because Israel basically controls the most powerful nation in the world. And the most powerful nation in the world is committed to supporting Israel. I mentioned this in my speech this morning. The statements that have been made by George Bush, by Obama, and by Netanyahu. They have such close relation that whatever Israel does, the US, the most powerful nation in the world, would support it. And because US is the most powerful nation in the world and is ever willing to go to war, other countries are afraid to condemn Israeli action as illegal. So basically behind Israeli action is the US. And as long as the US supports the Israelis, I don't think there will be other countries willing to question whatever the Israelis are doing. I am told, maybe this is just rumor, just bad-mouthing by some people, but I am told that any candidate for Congress or for presidency of the United States must meet IPAC, the Jewish lobby in America, and in fact must go to Israel to explain that should they be elected, they would continue with the policy of supporting Israel. This is something that is unusual. I suppose in Malaysia, if a candidate gives the undertaking that it will always support some other country, I don't think the electorate will elect them. But in the US, if you don't support Israel, you will lose the election. There was a congressman who was a congressman for 5 terms, Mr. Paul Finley. Mr. Paul Finley wrote a book against the Israeli lobby. At the next election, he lost. So any candidate in any elections in America will be careful to voice their support of Israel, or else they will lose the election. So you can understand why Israel is able to get away with murder on the high seas, because nobody dares to take any action against Israel.